Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome to the Gaming 4. So today, as you guys can probably already notice from the title of this video, I'm going to be doing an update video. So this is actually the first one that I've done so far, and it was suggested to me by one of you guys, so thank you for that suggestion. This is going to be pretty interesting. So I am covering the updates 3.14.1.0, that is the aviation update as some may call it, up until what is the current update, which is 3.14.4.0. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to keep track of the numbers and stuff, but you know. So I'm actually not going to be covering, the cow update and they added pigs and stuff, but hopefully by now you guys know about that stuff and it's not a big surprise. So hopefully this update video will provide you with some information about stuff that's been added to the game that you probably didn't know about. So anyway, let's get started. So I'm going to be breaking down this update video into three sections: the notable additions or changes, the cool additions or changes, and the interesting additions or changes. And so let's start with the notable additions or changes, and that would definitely start with the aviation update. There has been a huge update if you guys haven't played for a while. They have added planes and helicopters. So currently right now we've got the Sandpiper. These are in order that they are added. Two Hueys, different colors. The Sky Crane, which is really awesome. Um, the Otter, which is just a water version of the Sky Crane. Sandpiper, my bad. The Hummingbird, and the police helicopter. These two are the most recent, actually. I haven't seen them in map yet, but I'm sure they're around. So, besides that, I think it was the update right after the aviation update. They added a couple more helicopters, but they also added some boats. So not only do we have flying vehicles, we also have water vehicles. And the nice thing about these is that they can all be customized per se. So there's freeform buildables that he's slowly been creating and releasing, and you can add on to these things with any of those freeform buildables, including like barbed wire, sandbags. Um, there's a lot of like triangles now, sheets of metal, stuff like that. So, this is a side note, but actually, a couple updates ago, they added sirens to the police vehicles. So this is a police, forget what it was called, but it's a police boat, and I actually recently figured out what the default key for that siren was. To turn it on and off, that would be the control key. So now, as you can see, siren is on, and it will actually alert zombies. So it's cool, not really functional, but whatever. And I'm sure the helicopter over here has the same functionality. Okay, so besides adding these new vehicles and stuff, there actually has been the addition of a new game mode. And yes, this is after the aviation update, but this new game mode is called the Arena game mode. And pretty much since the aviation update, there actually has been about three notable changes towards that game mode. So there has been the addition of the PEI Arena map, and of course this is pretty much just like a normal version of PEI, but it's sort of more focused on the Arena game mode. Now there's also been the ability, oh that's gonna hurt, dang, that hurt a crap ton. There's also the ability to win as groups or as teams with the Arena, in the Arena game mode. And I'm not quite sure how that's done. There is now a group sort of identifier in your Survivors tab in the main menu. I'll actually show you that here. So if you go to Survivors, there is Group. Oh, that's glitchy. And as you can see, there's like a bunch of these groups and stuff. And I am a part of the group of the Gaming 4. Just a quick shout out, there is a new Gaming 4 Steam group if you guys want to join. I didn't create it. Nate created it. I'm pretty sure it's open for anybody to join though. So I think it might have to do with this group. So if you've got like two or three people a part of the Gaming 4 group on the same server, I think you might all be able to win that match with your group. Besides that, there's also been a couple added achievements. It seems like as there have been new additions to the game, he's slowly been adding new achievements to match and go along with those. So speaking of achievements, there's also some new achievements focused on buildable and throwable stats. I'm not quite sure how you unlock those, but I mean he's added quite a few more achievements. So if that's sort of your thing, um, I'm sure you can look it up and figure out how to achieve those. So the last notable thing that I'm gonna mention is actually he has added a search bar to this crafting inventory. He's also added a new checkbox to this option that's hide uncraftable blueprints. Now, right now, I don't have really anything in my inventory, so there's not a lot showing up here. But if I wanted to search for like how to build a roof, I could type in roof search and that would be one of the only things that comes up. So I mean this makes it really nice because as he keeps adding new items, new crafting recipes, you won't have to search through all those options, and it'll just be a lot faster in terms of craft. Okay, so on to some of the cool things that have been added to this game. So recently, there is a new, I guess, sort of mechanic where the crit color. So when you shoot players or zombies, let's say, see how I shoot this zombie, body shot. Okay, so that was like an orange color. I actually set that myself, but now your crit color, which is the headshot color, is going to be the same color as red sights that you have. So it's that blue right there. That is actually going to be the color of sights. I don't actually have any on me right now, but let's see if I find some in the bank, I'll put them on. But that is now going to be your crit color, which is really awesome because you can start like customizing your guns and it'll look really cool and stuff like that. Another cool thing that has been added is now APCs are submersible in a way. So pretty much what that means is they can be used like the boats. So not only are the APC like the vehicle with the most health and pretty decent speed, they can also drive through the water, which is freaking awesome. Besides the APC and the sight color, he's added a new outfit. That is the thief outfit. You can see I'm wearing it right now. It's actually not showing up because for some reason it was glitching. I'm not quite sure why. We'll get to this later. Besides that, Nelson's added the nail gun. So this is a new weapon. At first when I saw that I was like, okay, is this a random item? But no, this is actually a weapon. As you can see, it's not great. The clip size is 20. I assume it's silent. I think it is. You can put a tactical on it, and I'm assuming you can reload this thing using nails that you either find or craft. So, this just goes into another one of the awesome things that you can use in this game. Super cool. I mean, this thing is just awesome. Pretty fast fire rate as well, semi-auto. Good reload as well. Yeah, so this thing's pretty solid. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't want to use this besides the fact that it doesn't do much damage. But yeah, besides that, solid item. Now, also, he's added some new types of food. So he's added dough, pancakes, waffles, pizza, and some other ones that are sort of related to that. Let's see if we can find any. I'm sure we'll find a pizza in here or something. Gotta have a pizza. That's disappointing. So if you guys can't find these, I'm also guessing that there's a crafting recipe for these new items of food. That's something that he started to add. I mean, there's lots of items of food that are sort of uncommon just because people don't craft them, I guess, very often. You gotta have some cooking levels, and I guess just a lot of people just don't do that. So the last of the cool items that have been added to this game, and most of these were actual like objects, is this flag. So supposedly it protects an area from others players building. I don't know how effective this is. As you can see, there's a big radius, but I'm thinking this is going to be pretty effective. I don't know if this is craftable or not either. I think if it is, it's going to be pretty expensive. And what it works as is you just place it down like that, and you've got a sort of claimed area. Now, as you can also see, there is a new salvage bar. There's actually a bar that counts up as you salvage an object. Now, if you look away from this and you're continuing to hold F, and you look back, if you do it fast enough, it'll actually save your progress. Now, if you just completely let go out here, it'll lose all your progress. It doesn't matter. And yeah, so now that they've added this salvaging, I guess you can be more precise, and it actually takes more work and is actually more challenging to salvage stuff. So, I mean, I guess it adds a little more difficulty to the game as well. Okay, so on to the more interesting things. Or, yeah, just interesting. So, apparently, before, campfires couldn't be damaged by melee weapons or guns. Apparently, now they can. So, for those of you who wondered before, why the heck can't I break my campfire with, my gun or my fist? That is why. Now you can. Also, this is more useful, I guess, than interesting. When you spawn in vehicles with the vehicle command, let's spawn one in right now. I'll just spawn in a plane. They actually now spawn in with full fuel. So if some of you guys were messing around with this when the Aviation update first came out, you guys would have been noticing it's really annoying when you spawn in a plane or a helicopter, because they only come in with like 3% fuel, 4% fuel, and of course they use a crap ton of fuel. And so the bummer was, as soon as you spawned it in, you'd drive it a bit, you'd barely take off the ground, and you would run out of fuel. So yeah, he's fixed that, and now you start in with 100% fuel, and that is just fantastic. It's really convenient. I do not know why they didn't spawn in before without much fuel. I've got another mechanic that I forgot to mention. It probably makes the Sky Crane one of the best vehicles. Now the Sky Crane, okay, so the Sky Crane, the original intent of this sort of helicopter is to carry objects. And I sort of predicted this when I went over the how to fly, the flying mechanics video. But now you can actually pick up other objects with your Sky Crane. Now, I don't think this works on buildables. I think it only works on other vehicles and entities like that. It doesn't work on players either. I'm pretty sure of that. So if you start flying the Sky Crane and you press Control, that is the default for this, and you start flying. As you can see, I'm flying third person, so this might be a little rough. As you can see, the car sort of follows along. It's not perfect yet. I'm sure he'll add improvements and stuff. But, the car sticks with you. And so now this sort of adds a new way to quickly transport. Oh, shoot. Gotta go into first person. I'm really bad at flying in non-third person. So as you guys can see, you can now really easily transport like your favorite car or something across the map. Now, it does actually make flying a little glitchy, as I can't lean back fully, and it's sort of like bumping me around because I'm hitting the car. I'm sure this will be fixed somewhat in the future, so it'll probably make landing quite difficult. We'll see if I can land this. But yeah, amazing mechanic. I am so glad he added this. Makes a lot of sense. And I'm actually gonna bail. This is not worth it. Look at that. That is awesome. And when you disconnect the car, as you see, I'll press Control. Car sort of bounces off. That's how you can tell you've successfully released it. And of course, now I've brought this car not very far, but theoretically you could have brought it across the map. So yeah, pretty awesome. Really, really, really cool dynamic that was added. Okay, So another thing that's pretty interesting that was added is before, when direct connecting, you could not connect to a URL that has more than one period in it. So I guess if you were doing uh, something.com dot something else, I don't know why you'd have a URL like that, but apparently if you had one like that, you couldn't connect to it with direct connect previously. Also, something server related. Now you can actually have the ability to kick players or mute them. So you can vote to mute them now. It's actually a server command. I might be able to bring it up here. Nope, it won't bring it up here. I'll actually bring it up in console. Okay, let's look at it. It would be the votify. So you can vote on whether to, I think, mute people. You might be able to vote on whether to kick people as well. So, just another sort of interesting server command, something to moderate your server a little better. And I think, it's definitely a good idea. If you got like a mean kid, bullying on people, cussing out people, you don't want that crap on your server, now you can actually do something about that. Okay, so I've got to move quickly because the time is really racking up on this video. So, okay, apparently now zombies are more threatening. I'm not sure exactly what this means. There's now, see these radio buttons? Radio buttons are essentially on-off buttons, like, single click buttons. They're now color blind enhanced. So pretty much before it was red green. Well, if you're red green blind, they both look like the same color. And now they've actually got check and X marks. So that helps colorblind people out quite a bit. Besides that, he's added back buttons on most of the menus, or all the menus actually. So if you go to play, now got a back button instead of pressing escape. Of course, escape still works, and I'll use it anyway because it's faster. But that's always an option. Also, as you've probably noticed already, non-gold players either have the option to have a black user interface or a white user interface, and I think you can control that. Let's see. That's where your critical hit marker color is. It's cool stuff. Black interface or white interface. So I guess that depends on your preference. See, this is obviously a lot brighter. I probably will stick with the black interface just because, I don't know, I like it a little better. And of course, gold members can have the option to choose whatever color they want. Of course, he's going to let the gold members do that. And of course, that's understandable. He's got to make money somehow, so obviously those supporting him by buying gold are going to get some benefits. So, besides all this other stuff, now silenced weapons like the muzzle themselves, like the barrels, the silencer, they all have their own durability to them. So before they used to share the gun's durability, so when your gun ran out or something, the muzzle or barrel would run out. Since a couple updates ago, now they have their own durability, so I guess you can reuse them a little better. Okay, so another thing that's been changed, as you guys probably have already figured out, is if you press M, the map is a little wonky now. This is actually something change that I dislike. You can't actually see the full map. And actually, one update ago, he actually added a new option that makes it a little better, a little more acceptable. Is that there's now a center button that will automatically center it on your player. And I'm not sure exactly why he made it so zoomed in and why you can't see the whole thing at one time now. It sort of bums me out. But I guess it is what it is. Maybe in the future he'll change it. I'm sure he had good reasons to do this though. So, we'll leave the game development to him. Okay, so another random thing that has been added, I don't have an example of this now, but as you're building a map, there's a new option, it's a new type of node that's called a dead zone, and I think it gives the players some sort of radiation type thing, and, I don't know if this is used in any type of game mode yet. I think it's very similar to the sort of hurting thing that happens when you go outside the boundaries in an arena map. I think it's similar to that, but now if you wear the biohazard suit, you're actually immune to that. So that's just another cool dynamic that has been added to this game. Also, something that's been added is a new decay command. I'll show you in the server. If you do decay, it'll give me an error, but as you can see, there's now two durations that you can set in terms of decay, and there's a barricade duration and a structure duration. This is a server tool that after a specified amount of time, buildables on a map will disappear. And pretty much what this will do is this will keep the server from being completely cluttered by those who get on the server, place a few items, and get off. Now, don't be worried though, because as I just said it seems like those who build their whole house and stuff will start to see it disappear. There's actually a reset function that every time the builder gets on the server again, it'll sort of reset that timer. And by default, I think it is 7 days. So pretty much, if you build something on a server, you got to get back on that server within 7 days, and then it won't be deleted for another 7 days. So it's pretty simple like that. Also, there are definitely some cool changes. There's actually some good mechanics attached to them. But if you go to character, there's actually a lot more skill sets that have been added. I think it was support, attack, and defense before. Now there is civilian, firefighter, police officer, spec ops, farmer, fisher, lumberjack, worker, chef, thief, doctor. So there's a crap ton more of these skill sets, and there's actually a big connection with those and the way the loadout command works. I'm actually gonna have to redo my video on the loadout command because it has been completely reworked. So I'll be releasing that video pretty soon. I actually got a comment recently of a guy that's like, the loadout command won't work, and I was like, well, I don't know why it won't work, but after doing this video I understand why, because it has been changed. So anyway guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you learned some things about the game that you didn't know before. I know I definitely did. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you all.